Welcome back to Mistake on the Lake 5. We're back with Sound Voltex, pool 7 now?
Should be, yeah, 7.
Yeah. We've got a lot of really talented players going up in this. We have Lukacat coming up from the previous bracket. That's where we're at now. And our first match is going to be Synthion versus silentblackcat. This is going to be a good match. Getting into it, and this chart already starts off with, if you're not ready for it, this intro is gonna...
Oh wow, alright.
Yeah.
Does not pull back any
nope.
punches.
This is a
right to the action.
Very hard chart. Synthion taking the early lead. Then here comes probably the most infamous part of the chart. We'll see how this goes.
Oh my.
And Synthion pulling ahead with a very big early lead. Very well played. Again, like I said, this is really not a chart you want to be forced to sight read. But so far, what you've seen in the chart, this is pretty much the whole. That's how the chart is, and halfway over.
Lots of slow trills.
Yeah.
Of course, I feel like the slower the BPM of the trill, the harder it is to keep rhythm. Especially with some of this BPM. What is that? 182?
Yeah. This is a very tricky song to time. Some cross hands there. Synthion keeping her lead. Some final trills to end it off.
Those FX chips are nasty.
Yep, and then like Synthion will be taking STULTI as the first song.
Great showing.
Very tough chart to be forced to sight read in the tournament. That's rough. But so is We Go Down. We'll see what kind of scores these players have on We Go Down. What a rough. This is a rough set. I know you said you weren't too familiar with these songs, but all of these are, unless you're like already familiar with the charts, not what you want to be rolled in a tournament.
Well, it is worth noting that silentblackcat was the one who protected this chart, so
yeah.
I feel like that
might say
have
something.
At least
yeah,
some familiarity with it at the very least.
Especially when silentblackcat banned Defining Future, which is a pretty on the easier end of 18. So
true.
Maybe there's a reason for this protect. Already getting into the fast buttons of this chart. The trills. Synthion maintaining an early lead. Yeah.
This stuff just really drains your stamina after a while.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you gotta keep yourself tense, gotta keep yourself going on all these fast drills. 230 BPM.
Yeah, this is a
it
fast chart.
Around.
So it has a couple tricky bits like this. And then of course the chord part will come eventually that I was mentioning.
Tricky lasers.
Synthion's still maintaining a healthy lead, but
these lasers will really get you.
Not much of a lead anymore, but still in the lead. This is going to be a close one.
Green ears.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one.
Love to see it. Oh, wow. Tough button section.
Silent Black Cat now in the lead. We'll see if Synthion can bring it back at this chord part with the slam.
Right near the end, and let's see what happens.
Those chords are just so nasty. And these venom, yeah.
That's so rude. All
yeah,
right.
that is.
And Silent Black Cat takes the point.
Wow, what a comeback. And we're going to our tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker, triple cross.
Triple cross. A little bit more memory heavy. Both of these players earlier technically did have a chance to watch the chart, which would be really helpful if they did that. Because even knowing a little bit about this chart will put you at such an advantage. But
there's a lot of charts in Voltex like that. We're just knowing like one little thing, one little pattern, one little like tidbit about the chart brings you so much better.
Absolutely.
Makes you so much more comfortable.
Silent Black Cat with the early lead, but as my, yeah, here come the lasers. Just super rough to read, and Silent Black Cat getting a pretty sizable lead here now, but it is still just the start of the chart. There are plenty of more lasers to drop.
Plenty of tough streams here too.
Oh yeah, this is a hard chart.
Some spicy one hands.
Silent Black Cat still maintaining this nice lead. Yeah, this is a mean chart, especially for a seemingly double sight read. This is not good for sight reading.
It makes me wonder too, because a lot of players, especially with other home versions as well, it's hard to tell with exactly how much someone has practiced the chart based on their cap score alone.
It is really hard to tell. So, looks like Silent Black Cat will be pulling ahead here. And that'll be 2-1 for the set for Silent Black Cat. IKAROS DYNAMITE. Lukacat has been doing great on button stuff. So I feel like, especially with like intentionally picking this, saving it.
Oh, for sure.
I think Lukacat probably is pretty comfortable with this chart. And then I'll have to say, like I said, I'm pretty sure Lux will be comfortable with Aurolla, which would be great. All right, so getting it into it here. So this, like I was saying, very button heavy, but for such a button heavy chart, it has a lot of lasers that you can, specifically near the end, that will be extremely punishing to miss even one. So we'll get into this here. Some early hand trip. Seems like Lukacat knows exactly what to expect, pulling away with an early lead. But we're getting into hard, but a bit more straightforward part of the chart. Well, after this, maybe.
Lots of tough one hands here. Like I said, it's going to keep your hand going all over the controller.
Yeah, and Lux definitely is 11 vol force.
I think that goes in with what I was saying earlier with like Lux not really playing on cap before. Like I think I saw them Friday just trying to build up their vol force from a brand new account.
Yeah, and adjusting to a cap, especially Nemesis now, it's definitely going to be a challenge. Lukacat maintaining a lead through this very tricky part. There's this trill that I hate.
Relatable. That's a tricky pattern.
And a repeat of this. Luka maintaining the sizable lead. The chart's about to really pick up in difficulty, so we'll see if they can maintain it. We get one more big trill coming up in a bit.
Oh, and return of the chord rolls. Here we go. Nasty trill with the FX.
Yeah, this chart gets really hard at the end. And then these lasers, easy enough to drop, and if you do, you're just derailed.
Both these players
Both of them
pretty well.
Wow, and Luka ends up taking it. Lux really did a good job closing the gap there, but
good showing.
Not quite enough. Lots of Lux support in the chat. Great to see. Here we go, going into Aurolla. This will be an interesting one. Luka starting with a bit of a lead here. Not too much. It can change in an instant, but they were tied there for a second. Little tricky slam patterns there. See, stuff like that.
These lasers don't mess around, especially with how far they went off the track.
Yeah.
Especially those pointing off the edge of the track makes it really hard to read, especially for sight read.
And then stuff like this, not easy to read. And the lead now in Lux's favor. Wow, fairly heavily. And so, yeah, this chart does combine a lot of really fast buttons with these really confusing lasers. Yeah, this is a really tough sight read. We've had a lot of really tough sight reads.
Both players building a pretty, oh, I should. I was about to start talking about the combo, and there they go. Tricky laser, all right.
Laser, yeah.
Lux
Lots
holding
of
a pretty comfortable lead.
Huge lead for Lux. And it's looking like this is probably going to go to the third song, unless
something
tragedy
terrible happens.
But looks like tragedy was averted for Lux.
To the third song we go. Congratulations, Lux.
So, regardless of familiarity, Lux with the
Force Evolution.
Congrats
Dandelion
to
player.
Dandelion 3. Congratulations.
It appears
okay,
so.
I sure hope Lux has played this before.
Quite the tricky one-hand heavy song. Lots of.
This is a tricky song.
It's pretty fast too. 222 BPM.
I'll say it when I see it. Another one of my favorite charts. This and STULTI. Things have been good.
It's a great chart, but it is.
But no, this is hard.
Read.
Definite hexadiver killer. Lux in the lead right now. And just as I say that, that's another example of those knobs derailing being so critical.
There's, of course, one pattern near the end, one especially notable pattern. Very hard to sight read, very tricky. It's sort of like a chord where your hands overlap a bit.
Yeah.
A chord stream. Very tricky. Excited to see how these players handle that.
Yeah. Lukacat in the lead right now. God, this chart is good. Very hard button part. Both players getting through it pretty well. With Luka still holding on to the lead, but it's just one dropped laser away from going back into Lux's favor. But Lukacat's lead is just steadily growing here, and unless
here we go.
That's the yep. All right. Luka manages to hold through it, and that's going to be Luka taking that round. Very good job.
Great showing.
This should be a pretty good showing. This is not, obviously practice helps, but this is not a chart you need to like have memorized to be able to put up a competitive fight here. So
for sure.
This should be a very good round. Some love for Lazurite in the chat.
It's a great song too. All around great chart.
Synthion off to the early lead. Pretty substantial for such an early lead, but
handling those buttons very well.
Both holding UC so far into this more tricky section with holds. Synthion still in the lead after dropping. Lux holding the UC. Trill. Both making through it. Lux losing the UC. Synthion gaining an even bigger lead. With a lead that just keeps growing. These chords can be tricky to read if you're not expecting it. Goes into pure button part, where we go back to a little bit of a one-handing section.
Synthion's growing. Synthion's lead growing even stronger, very clearly in her comfort zone.
Yeah, 130,000, wow. And the box lasers. Synthion still maintaining a huge lead, and that should close out the chart here. Yeah. 987, very
Almost an
strong.
S, wow. Great showing.
Breakin Asia looks like another strong pick for Synthion. We'll see how well Lux knows this, because at this point it will come down to, if Lux doesn't know it, this is going to be really tough.
It was Lux's pick, to be fair. I think
Yeah.
the start has a lot of tricky one-hands, a lot of tricky lasers.
Yeah. If you're picking something like this, you probably know it. Lead flickering back and forth by just like a single near.
Completely tied right now.
I have a feeling that's going to change right about here, but we'll see.
Both players holding very well to the zigzag lasers. Synthion had a little bit.
Synthion with a lead, not too much. Especially with a laser-oriented song like this, one drop is all it takes to change that up. It's down to like a near now. Both players definitely very familiar with this chart.
Still anyone's game, only just a few nears apart.
They're tied once again. Still completely tied. Synthion with a couple nears of a lead now. Synthion's lead is growing. Will it be enough to close out the chart? .993 and 990. Wow!
Excellent showing from both of these.
That'll be Synthion taking it 2-0 over Lux. Thankfully, avoiding MG277. I wouldn't want anyone to have to play that. I saw some reaction from Luka to whatever the reroll was. That'll be interesting to see what it is. Okay, that warrants some reaction. This is a chart. If you're familiar with this,
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it showed up in one of the 11 dance courses. Very tough. Yeah. Very strong 18.
This is a hard one. This is very hard.
Some learning patterns near the end. I think like a sort of vertical trill thing. You can two-hand if you want.
Yeah. This chart is rough, and if either of them are very familiar with it, that is going to be a enormous advantage to have. Some tricky knobs. This entire chart is just really hard. It has some tricky slowdowns near the end. Yeah. This chart is awesome, but
it's a great song, it's a great chart, but man, is it tough to play in the middle of a tournament.
Yeah. silentblackcat with the lead right now, though. A pretty sizable lead. There are definitely some parts of this chart that can make that lead vanish, though.
For sure.
Lukacat nailing the slowdown.
Directly into that menace of a pattern. Straight back into the action.
It'll happen again. Yeah. Very tough chart. silentblackcat maintaining quite the lead, though, and that's going to be it.
Fake out slowdown. They can hit the
Very well done.
Well done.
silentblackcat taking the first song, which technically was nobody's pick. And then next up, we're going into another really brutal 18 for the second time of the tournament. There is really not a single easy part of Doppelganger. All of it is hard to time, weird patterns, makes your hands do some weird things. And then the ending is just really hard. Just raw, really hard. Ether 99 classic. VMS classic. This'll be a good match. Luka with the early early lead. Even just this intro is tricky to time. Luka keeping the UC. There finally goes the UC, but that doesn't really affect the lead that Luka has. SilentBlackcat is closing in. SilentBlackcat would really like to get the 2-0 here. But this is going to be a tough gap to fully close. And they're kind of doing it. It's getting really close. Wow. Drop from Lukacat is going to tie it up. Back. Taking the lead right back. Here comes the oh-so-famous pause of Doppelganger. They are okay. I'd say that beats the cab runaround. But anyway.
Oh no.
Lukacat maintaining the lead here really heavily. Gonna finish it out here. Lukacat brings it back. And that's gonna take us to the tiebreaker of Pulsar. Oh, Black Lotus.
Black Lotus.
Okay.
That's an interesting one.
That's a nicer.
Definitely nicer than Polestar, but it's definitely got its tricky moments of its own. As we're bringing a bit of a theme here with the BMS.
Oh yeah, you're right. They are tied up even, but Luka with the chain tied up.
Those sorts of court trills are really tough.
This chart is brutal.
Spicy jacks. 12s.
The lead is trading very actively.
Gotta keep that tiebreaker nice and tense.
Yeah, with SilentBlackcat pulling away with a good lead here. We'll see how long they can maintain that for. As the chart gets a little bit more straightforward for a bit, but
a nice break.
We will go right back to the chords and jacks very soon.
That's a kind of mean pattern.
Very. But SilentBlackcat has gained an enormous lead.
An enormous combo as well. Just about hitting 1,000.
Yeah. I think SilentBlackcat is going to be able to have this one in the bag.
Comboing through the jacks as well. Excellent showing. Well done.
SilentBlackcat takes it 2-1 over Lukacat.
Fake gravity words.
Yeah. There's a good amount of them. But like...
I mean, hey, I guess it shows in the chart's quality. It's a really cool chart.
Yeah, but like...
Really nice when you're breaking into the 18s folder.
Time Traveler would be a bit ahead of its time for Gravity Wars. Yeah,
you can say that.
But Synthion with the early lead.
Tough court section. Both players handling it pretty well.
Only a couple nears of a lead. Really even so far.
Bit of a cooldown section. Synthion with a little bit of a lead. Still anyone's game.
Both maintaining a really nice combo. But we'll see once the chart gets a little trickier again.
Unfortunate drop.
Synthion still maintaining the lead though. Very nice lead. Nice.
Oh, the breakdown session. I love this section of the chart.
Yeah. This is really good. Definitely seems like both players are familiar with the chart though, because I don't know. This is not something you'd want to read. And Synthion now has a enormous lead.
Lazy Duramon's always an unfortunate way to lose. One mistake and suddenly there goes your score.
Exactly.
Wow, 995 from Synthion.
Very nice.
Excellent showing. Well done.
Very, very nice. For such a button-heavy, fast, hard chart, it has a lot of really easily droppable lasers that will ruin your play.
For sure.
Luka with a 987 on this. I think Lukacat was the one who played it earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Lukacat's pick, and they won. Yeah. So, and it is their pick once again. So.
I love voice stamps. They're the best.
Chart starts off a little tricky. Gets a little more straightforward. Just a near or two away. Tied up just like that. Now with Synthion in the lead.
Judging by Synthion's form, she feels very familiar with this chart as well. So this could really go anywhere. Anyone's game.
Yeah, these scores are neck and neck. Tied for the second time so far. Lukacat pulling ahead just a little bit. Here are some of the really easily droppable lasers. More coming later towards the end. Now we get some really tricky one-handing parts. A trill that I will say again I do not like.
Still neck and neck here, just one near apart.
Yeah,
really putting on a show for us today.
And now chart's gonna bump up in difficulty. Really fast forward runs coming, and then the lasers at the end. Still such a close lead. Synthion takes the lead.
Once again, all right. Synthion pulling ahead on the hardest part.
Let's see with the lasers.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, almost. Nice.
Nice.
984.
Good match.
Very nice. And Synthion takes it 2-0. Okay, whatever. Rebellio. This is going to be a good match. Silent Black Cat, very strong with buttons. So this is going to be exciting.
That's mean.
Starting off with a nice FX jack. Wow. silentblackcat pulling ahead. Lux was nailing these patterns at the start. Just fell a little bit out of time. But
that pattern's really hard to time.
Yeah.
Really hard to act.
silentblackcat with a pretty sizable lead for this early in the song.
Interestingly enough, this was Lux's pick.
Oh, you're right, yeah. silentblackcat still leading. This is where the buttons really come out in this chart. Yeah, you laid it out for me, Song. Thank you. Oh, all the jacks start coming in. Yeah.
Brutal scam.
This is a really hard 18.
Oh, the jacks too. Oh, it's back
Oh
in
wow,
Lux's
Lux
favor.
takes the lead.
Oh.
A really big lead. Let's see if he can keep that to the end of the chart. He should be able to. It's almost over. What a comeback from Lux. Wow.
Nice job.
Not what I expected to happen. Very good from Lux. Having some... Okay, they found Ultimate Ascension. This is a good classic Gravity Wars 18. Hard to go wrong with it, but like I said, it has some stuff that would be really good to know before playing it, before having to sight read it at a tournament. And then if this goes to silentblackcat, we'll be playing Party Stage as our tiebreaker.
Lux taking an early lead.
Yeah, looks like Lux is pretty familiar with this chart. Those knobs aren't the easiest to read.
And once again, kind of getting counterpicked. This was silentblackcat pick. But of course, knowing how the last match went, it could still turn around at the end. Anybody's game, always.
See, those kind of lasers, and they happen more at the end. It's good to be familiar with. Lux with a really nice lead. The lead only growing.
Lux showing himself very comfortable with his chart. Tricky one hand. Both players handling it pretty well.
Lasers. Rest in peace, auto lasers. Alright. Getting into the end of the chart here. Oh, wow, it's tied up.
Tied up.
Okay, here are the backwards knobs. Looks like Lux.
Oh, no.
Okay, maybe he wasn't.
Oh?
And silentblackcat narrowly takes
it. Wow.
Wow. So that's going to put us on Party Stage as the tiebreaker.
I don't think this card draw likes me very much. It keeps picking charts I don't know off the top of my head.
This, I've played it like a couple, I think it's button-y. The song artist would make me believe it's pretty button-y, but I guess we'll, yeah, I guess we'll see. Pretty sure.
I guess we'll
Definitely
find out.
button-y, all right. Stonka just started playing the game the other day.
Great song, though.
Yeah. Already a button chart. Tied up lead. silentblackcat takes the lead. silentblackcat still hold. Oh, never mind. Still in the lead though.
Going to the lower thousands. Trading back and forth a ton. Anybody's game.
Back in Lux's favor. Never mind. Back in silentblackcat's favor.
They're really giving us a show for this tiebreaker, huh?
Yeah.
Back and forth. That's mean.
Oh, it's this song in chart. Okay. Yeah, I played this like. Pretty sure I played it because Stonk wanted me to, but.
Looks fun.
Wow.
Anyway, silentblackcat taking a strong lead.
Very strong lead.
The song kicks up.
It's late enough into the chart where that lead of 100K is. Oh. Well, there goes 50K of
like
it.
That.
There goes 50K of it.
Certified Nemesis moment.
Oh, it's evening back out a little bit, but it's so late into the song, unless something catastrophic happens, it'd be hard to gain back 50,000. Okay.
That number's jumping a whole lot. But it seems like
silentblackcat
takes the lead.
That was close. Okay. So silentblackcat will be moving on to Pool 8. Congrats to silentblackcat.
Put on a great show. That was a really fun pool.
That was a great pool.
Lots of close matches.
Very
Lots
close
of tiebreakers.
Lots
Especially that last round. Like the amount of back and forths we got in all those matches.
Yeah.
Excellent showing.
That was crazy.